Hey guys, a lot of traders out there, especially the newbies, have literally been struggling, on how to read the market structure correctly, but you are in the right spot because in this video I'm literally going to be teaching you guys exactly, how to read the market structure correctly yourself, how to figure out the trend of the market, BOS, change of character, everything is going to be taught, in this video. So make sure you watch from the beginning of this video to end so that you don't miss a part. And I believe that by the time you finish watching this video, you will not be confused anymore. You'll be able to figure out the trend of the market correctly on your own. So with that being said, let's go. Okay guys, as I said earlier, I'm just gonna break it down, different type of market we have. I'm gonna be covering, BOS, change of character, how to figure out the trend of the market, at the same time I'm trying to be teaching you guys how to identify the trend of the market correctly. After you finish watching this video, you are going to be able to do that yourself. You are going to be able to read any kind of market. It doesn't have to matter whether it is indices of crypto or forex, or any kind of pairs you want to trade. Alright guys, when it comes to market structure is just a term that help figure out the trend of the market, to know whether you want to be buying or want to be selling. Without the market structure, without knowing the trend of the market, we just be ignorance of what to do in the market. Maybe we should be buying or we should try to be selling. But when it comes to the trend of the market, we have three types of trend. We have the uptrend, when something is literally going up. We have the downtrend, when something is pulling down, and we also have the ranging markets. Call it ranging market, consolidation, or whatever you can call it. So uptrend is literally like this, creating series of highs and lows, but I'm going to be explaining better just for you to know. Why downtrend is something like this, something as I said, it's going to be going to the downside, heading to the downside. So that downtrend is literally going to be like this. Why consolidation as well is literally going to be like this, because it's not going to be giving a clear direction. So it's going to be something like this. That in an uptrend, market has to be creating series of higher highs and higher lows. That is for uptrend. Why for downtrend, market has to keep creating lower highs and lower lows. Why in a sideways, you don't have to deal with that, you just have to ignore it. Anytime the market is ranging, you just have to ignore it. Let's start with uptrend first. Higher high is literally going to be short into HH. Why higher low is literally going to be short into HL. Likewise, lower high and lower low. So as well, we're going to be dealing with BOS, that is break of structure, and at the same time, we're going to be dealing with COCH, that is change of character. So in a trend, you just have to figure out the highs and the low first before knowing whether it's a downtrend or an uptrend. Let's say we have something like this. We never can tell whether this is an uptrend or a downtrend. So if you have to figure out the highs and low of this trend right now, we just have to know that if you have to look at here, we have a low, and at the same time this is literally also a high, but we never can tell whether it's an uptrend or a downtrend until we start identifying the higher highs and higher lows, because we're dealing with uptrend first before going to downtrend. I use H for high while L for low. So I've marked my high and I've marked my low. For me to know whether it's an uptrend or a downtrend right now, you have to let the market to pull back a little bit before heading to the upside. And after the market pull back a little bit and head to the upside, you will notice that it literally break this high where I mark H. The price literally break above it, and immediately the price break above it. We are not going to consider this as low anymore. We mark this as low, but we are not going to be considering this as low anymore. We are going to consider it as higher low, because it's an uptrend. Uptrend has already been confirmed right here, because this is literally going to change to higher low, and here is not going to be changed to high. It's not going to be high anymore, just high. It's going to be changed to higher high, and the reason why it's going to change to higher is because this high is literally higher than this previous high. So that's why it's literally called high high. It's necessary for market structure to keep creating series of highs and lows. You can see right here that after the market break here, we name it as high, come back a little bit, retrace a little bit, just like I drew it here. We're going to label that as higher low, and immediately market break above the previous high that it created. Once created, it's going to change to high high. That is for uptrend. So if you have to move further right now, it's going to be the higher low, while this is going to be the higher high. You can see as it keeps breaking structure, that is how the higher low and higher is going to be continuing. It's going to be labeling it as higher low and higher. But you can notice that immediately price breaks below this higher low. That means this trend is no more an uptrend. It has literally changed to downtrend. But before you can consider this as a downtrend, because it might literally be a fake out, sometimes. But for us to consider this as a complete downtrend, what I told you guys, I said we literally gonna mark our low and high first before marking our lower high and lower low, because in a downtrend we need some series of lower high and lower low. So we are going to mark this place as high first, and we are literally going to mark this as a low. So we can't say downtrend has been confirmed already, but we know that this market has structured for being bullish, to being bearish. So in a downtrend, we expect the market, to pull back a little bit as well before heading to the downside. And immediately the price, breaks below this structure where I wrote low. That means that downtrend has literally been confirmed, because this is not just, we are not going to label this as high anymore. It's literally going to change to lower high, and in which the one that break the previous low is literally going to change to lower low. See, I'm going to be labeling this right there as lower high, while this as lower low. And the reason why I label this as lower high and lower low, I've explained already, because market breaks below this low. So the fact that the market keep breaking structure to the downside, that means this market is still very bearish. Lest I forget, there's one thing I want to add as well to this, and that is what we call change of character and break of structure. Consider this as a ladder going to the upside, while here consider this as a ladder as well, pointing to the downside. But how are we going to literally fit this BOS? What I mean by BOS is break of structure, and what I mean by COCH is change of character. When it comes to break of structure, just know that after price break above the previous high or the previous low, that is a break of structure. So I use BOS as break of structure and COCH as change of character. So you can consider it as a break of structure right here. And the reason why it's a break of structure is because you can see that price literally break above this high. That's a break of structure. And as well, it might not be an uptrend alone, it can also be a downtrend. The fact that you see that price break above this previous low as well, that's a break of structure. Right now, the market is no longer bullish anymore, because this price literally break below this higher low, because this is an uptrend, while and downtrend has literally been confirmed right now. The change of character literally means when market literally change from being bullish to being bearish, or from being bearish to being bullish. That is literally different between change of character and break of structure. Break of structure means when market keep breaking highs or keep breaking lows. But change of character means when the price market structure literally change from being bullish to being bearish. That is a clear change of character. You can see that assuming this market didn't break below this higher low, it's going to be uptrend is literally continuing. But immediately price break below this higher low, that is a change of character. So guys, here is a real example, example of trend on the real chart. If you are to look at this market right now, we can see that you can identify this as a downtrend, and as well you can identify this as an uptrend, right? Because it's heading to the upside, while this is heading to the downside. But we can't just use line alone. We just have to use the market structure terms and analogy to identify the trend of the market. So right here you can see that what I taught you guys, that you can see that this is a low. Let's count this as a low, right? Because let's say we haven't seen this place, right? Let's say we haven't seen the past data. So you can see that this is a low, right? And after a low we have a high, right? So after that, immediately price breaks below this structure, that is when our lower low is being confirmed, because this is a downtrend, right? And after that, after a lower low, we have to have something like a lower high before having the next push, and this is the lower high. And as well, immediately price break below this structure as well, that's a lower low. But you can see here, after the market creates a lower high, because a downtrend, the market fails to break below this structure. That is when the trend changes from being bearish to being bullish. And you can see that immediately price took off and break this structure, this lower high. That means uptrend has literally been confirmed, guys. So if you have to bring this structure out, at some point the market was literally creating series of lower highs and lower low until it finally break above this structure. Immediately price break above this structure, that means that uptrend has literally been confirmed. And guys, if you literally find these videos so helpful to you so far, make sure you know what to do. Subscribe and be a part of this YouTube channel. Support me and your support, your like, your comment literally help me to do more video like this, more forest video like this. And as well, I have a Telegram channel which I get people out to trade as well and drop free signal. The link is gonna be in the description box. Make sure you don't hesitate to join my Telegram channel. And with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one.